Hello everyone, welcome back to FPL STAR. Today I gonna discuss about weekly transfer plan for Game Week 8. I will also discuss about the potential postponement of some game in Game Week 8 and how should you react on this. So before starting, if you are new in this channel, please subscribe this channel. Now let's start. In Game Week 8, 3 matches already cancelled. They are Crystal Palace Brighton match, Chelsea Liverpool match and Man U Leeds match. Chelsea Liverpool match has been cancelled because of it should take place in London and where the Queen final is there. That's why it's cancelled. The other match, Manchester United versus Leeds United, this match isn't in London, but this has been postponed because this match needs high security because it's a rival match. They have rivalry among them, and that's why this match has been postponed. And Brighton Crystal Palace match postponed has been declared 1 week ago, so that's also postponed. So how should you react on this postponement? I will discuss it now. If you have only 7 or 8 players to play and you need to take -12 or -8 to get your team fully packed, then wildcard is a very good option for you. But if you have 10 or 11 player or just -4 hit, you can fill up your team, then wildcard is not a good option for you. But you can also think of wildcard because if your team shape is not good, then wildcard is a very good option. Like you want to get rid of some player, then wildcard is good. The third option is if you have already used your wildcard and you have just 4 or 5 players in your team, you must go for free hit. But I don't recommend free hit now because there will be some double game week where you can pack your team with double game week player with free hit team, and that's why I don't think that free hit is a very good option. But if you have a very low player in game week 8, then free hit can be a viable option for you. The last thing is about that the Europa match against Arsenal and PSG also postponed, and that means that Arsenal will get a blank game in future, and that's you should also consider that in I think before December there will be a blank game week for Arsenal. And I know a lot of players now have Arsenal fixture and they have player like Gabriel Jesus or Martinelli, and you should need to plan thinking about get rid of them in near future. And that's it. Now I will discuss about the Game Week 8 transfer plan, and I have divided Game Week 8 transfer plan into 5 categories. They are essential, differential, sell, hold and ignore. Essential are those kind of players who have a very high ownership and they are very much essential for your team. The differential player are those kind of players who have very low ownership but they can be very good potential for a team and they look sharp and they can be a very good option. The sale player you have in your team and you need to sell this kind of player. Whole category is this the kind of player is in your team and they are not performing well, but they have a very good potential to be performed in near future, so you should hold it. And ignore this kind of player is you have not in your team but they are now performing well, but I don't think they will continue it, and this type of player is ignored. Now move on to the first player. And first player for Game Week 8 essential is Trippier. If you look at Trippier performance, he is very good. He playing as a right back for Newcastle United and he also takes set piece for Newcastle, and Newcastle defense looks good. If you look at Trippier performance in last 5 matches, he got 23 points where his point per match ratio is 4.6 and his goal movement ratio is 0.22, which is for a defender is very good. That's why I think he's an essential, and as a lot of defender in your team is now ranked game week player, then Trippier is a very viable option for you to get it and fill the team. The second essential player for Game Week 8 is Mitrovic, and Mitrovic is performing well. He performed well in the hard fixture, but now his fixture looks good. Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, Aston Villa are good fixture for Mitrovic, and that's why I think he is now an essential option. And I think if you want to get rid of Gabriel Jesus or another forward in your lineup, then Mitrovic is a very good option. The differential player for Game Week 8 is Isak. If you look at Newcastle fixture, I already did. They are amazing fixture, and their main striker is now Isak, and he's just 7 million, and his ownership is just 4.8%. And if you look at Newcastle fixture, Bournemouth, Fulham, Brentford, Everton is very good, and Isak is just signed from Real Sociedad, and he can be a very good option for your team as a differential, and he can give you some rank boost. I think he will now perform very well because of his fixture looks amazing. Now move on to the second differential player for game week 8. It's Gerard Bowen. It's a surprising one, but I still think that Gerard Bowen is now have a very good run of fixture, and as his fixture now improved, he will deliver point, and that's why I am put him in the differential category. It is a controversial one, and I am thinking in my team of Gerard Bowen. I might buy him in game week 8, and that's the thing. You should also consider that Gerard Bowen fixture looks good, and in last season he was amazing, but this season his form is not good, but he can gain his form because his fixture looks good, and he has just 2.5% ownership. Now move on to the other category, and it's sell category. First sell is Mohamed Salah. He has a blank game week in game week 8, and that is the one of the reason you should get rid of Salah. Liverpool also performing not well, and that's the thing you should consider for selling Salah. If you look at his fixture looks horrible. Brighton, Arsenal, Manchester City, West Ham in next 4 fixture. It's horrible for Salah, and that's why I think as his fixture is now bad and his form is bad, and as he has blank gaming, so you need to sell him. And if you look at his performance, it's okay for last 5 matches, but now he has a tricky fixture, and that's why you need to sell him, and he has a blank game. The second sell for game week 8 is also Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool, and he is just 7.5 million. He's an expensive defender, and he has now 44.5% ownership. He has very hard fixture, and if you look at Alexander-Arnold performance, is not good, and he is not performing well. His attacking ability is good, but Liverpool defense looks shaky. They concede a lot of goal, and that's why I think selling Alexander-Arnold now is a very good option. Alexander-Arnold, one thing you should consider, because he is a very expensive, and if he cannot give you some clean sheet, then he is a must sell for your team. Now move on to the other category. It's hold category, and first player in hold is Kyle Walker. I know he has now 50% chance of playing in FPL side, seeing this, but I still think that you need not sell Walker in this game, because he will play in game week 8, where a lot of players in your team will not play this game week. So that's the thing you should consider, and you should keep Kyle Walker, because I think now he will fit. You can see the Champions League match. I think in that match Kyle Walker should start, and if he don't start, then you can sell him, but I don't think it's a very good option to sell him, because he might be okay for game week 8, and that's why you need to hold him. Now move on to the other hold option, and it's Reece James. It's a surprising one and a controversial one, but I put him in the hold category because he now playing as a right wing back, and if you want to sell Reece James, then it's not a very good option, because you might want to buy him in game week 9 or 10, then you make transfer for this, and that's a not good option. And if you want to fill up your team with 11 player, you can transfer out other player, but I think Reece James is the best player to keep in game week 8. He has playing right wing back, and in left wing back for Chelsea there is competition. I already tell in many videos, and that's why I think Reece James should be hold, and that's a controversial one, I think, but I still think that he's a very good option, and as their coach is not changed, he will play and he will get you some points and some attacking return as well. Now move on to the next category, and it's ignore category. First player you should ignore is Ivan Toney. In last match he scored hat-trick, but now you should ignore him because his fixture run looks tricky. Arsenal is a hard fixture. Bournemouth is easy, but after that Newcastle, Brighton, Chelsea. So that's why I think you should ignore buying Toney. But if he have in your team, you should obviously keep him. Might keep him or even sell him. That's your choice. But I still prefer him in my team. But I ignore if I don't have him. And that's the thing you should consider. Toney is a very good striker, but in this price bracket, I think now Mitrovic and Isak has very good fixture, and they are playing also well. So that's why I think a transfer should be made in near future. But this game week, I still think it's not a good thing to buy Ivan Toney. Now move on to the last player in our category, and it's ignore. It's Son. You might thinking that Salah to Son is a very good option, but I think if you don't have wildcard, then it's not a good option because Son is not performing well. In last 5 matches, he has no goal contribution. That's a very bad thing, and his goal run ratio is 0.46, which thinks that he might get return, but he not getting return, and as well as he has now competition with Richarlison and Kulusevski for his position, and that's the thing you should consider because in October there is a lot of fixture congestion, and that's why you should need not to buy Son. But if you are planning wildcard in game week 9, then you can go for Son as a 1 week punt, but I don't prefer this, and a lot of FPL managers now don't have wildcard and they are not planning for wildcard, and that's why Son is ignored. Now I'll all summarize them. The essential player is Trippier and Mitrovic, and the differential player is Isak and Bowen because they have amazing fixture. The sale player is Salah and Alexander. They have blank fixture, and that's why I think they should be sold. Hold player is Kyle Walker, though he looks injured, but I still think that he can play in game week 8. And Rich James is a player you need to hold because he is the most viable player for your team after game week 8, and that's why you should hold him. And ignore player is Tony and Son because I don't think now they are a very good option, and you need not to buy this kind of player. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please like this video, and if you are new in this channel, obviously subscribe this channel. And yet not subscribe this channel, obviously subscribe this channel because you will get a lot of FPL content in this channel throughout the season, and that's why you need to subscribe this channel. And other thing, don't forget to press the bell icon. Happy fantasy, good luck for your team.